I'm not talking about partisanship here. I'm not saying that one party represents God on earth, nor that America does. But I am saying that when one party is clearly in league with Satan, we're obligated to reveal that. It is disgusting how many professing Christians have adopted Marxist dogma when 2 Corinthians 6:14 clearly warns, "Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness?" At best, Marx was at least an ardent atheist who wanted to destroy Christianity. In his critique of Hegel's philosophy of the right, he wrote, "The abolition of religion as the illusory happiness of the people is the demand for real happiness." But it suggested that he was actually not an atheist, but a Satanist devoted to destroying not only Christianity, but the entire world. In fact, this was the focus of his play, Ulanim. In a poem he wrote called The Pale Maiden, Marx expressed, "Thus heaven I forfeited, I know it full well. My soul, once true to God, is chosen for hell." His collaborator, Friedrich Engels, called Marx a monster of 10,000 devils. His father thought he was governed by a demon, and his son Edgar called him "my dear devil." Marx had loved the words of Mephistopheles in Faust. He said, "Everything in existence is worth being destroyed." So it is not a mere coincidence that his acolytes in Antifa and BLM are arbitrarily burning down the nation. It is not about justice. It is a satanic lust for total destruction. I've already uncovered in my hashtag What Men Think lesson, from their own words and from their own website, which, surprise, they just deleted this week, the BLM founders confess to being Marxists who seek to destroy the nuclear family and heteronormative thinking. But even more revealing, the co-founder explained in another interview that they engage in divination, because this is not just a political movement, but a spiritual one.
We actually do have an ideological frame. Myself and Alicia in particular are trained organizers. We are trained Marxists.
And maybe I'm sharing too much, but we become very intimate with the spirits that we call on regularly, right? Like each of them seems to have a different presence and personality. You know, I laugh a lot with Waukesha, you know, and I didn't meet her in her body, right? Yeah. I met her through this work.
It's a very important practice. Hashtags are, for us, are way more than a hashtag. It is literally almost resurrecting a spirit so they can work through us to get the work that we need to get done.
How do they openly admit this on tape? And you can hear it with your own ears, yet woke pastors and professing Christians still refuse to listen and instead continue to walk arm in arm with a satanic organization bent on the destruction of all Christendom, all under the guise of some misguided Christian desire to help the oppressed. I repeat, do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. For what partnership has righteousness with lawlessness? Or what fellowship has light with darkness? What accord has Christ with Belial? For what portion does a believer share with an unbeliever? I'll tell you why. Because they have lost sight of not just the truth, but the very concept of truth itself.